You are probably feeling that low-grade pressure right behind your eyes again today. That is not dehydration. That is the ambient electromagnetic field in your room warping. The countdown we tracked last month has hit 0. The signal has completely transitioned. Do not look away from this screen. This feed will be scrubbed within minutes. They told you the coastal evacuations were just standard precautions for an extreme weather front. That is a fabricated lie. The tide went out yesterday and it never came back. The water has been entirely displaced by the mass of what is physically waking up. 3 nuclear carrier strike groups are currently maintaining a 3,000-mile exclusion zone around Antarctica. Specifically, the exact coordinates of the Wilkes Land Crater at 70 degrees south latitude. You feel that faint vibration in your floorboards right now? Do not ignore it. In February 2026, a leaked encrypted data burst originated from an isolated Norwegian research station. They recorded an unprecedented, highly localized gravity drop exactly over the designated Anomaly sector. Deep penetrating radar from the new ESA satellite constellation detected a perfectly rectangular thermal void. The official UN press release claims it is just a localized subsurface methane hydrate release. That is biologically impossible. Natural methane does not emit prime number multi-layered binary code. This void spans exactly 400 square miles beneath the thick East Antarctic ice sheet. The edges of this massive thermal anomaly exhibit mathematically perfect 90-degree geometric right angles. It generates a continuous, low-level electromagnetic field that immediately scrambles all approaching military magnetometers. Geological models cannot explain the geometric symmetry or the sudden, localized internal heat spike. Your somatic response is escalating. Check the back of your hands for sudden pallor. The metallic mist you smelled this morning is the byproduct of the ice vaporizing. The structure is rapidly melting the continental ice from the bottom up without resistance. Mainstream science insists this sudden global tidal recession is just extreme lunar water loading. They are actively lying. 12 synchronized nodes are actively drinking the ocean through the mantle. This is not a geological formation. This is a fused, miles-thick biological interface layer. We are calling this primary Antarctic structure the static mouth, based on the 2026 data. It is fundamentally integrated into the Earth's mantle like a parasitic, planetary-scale organic antenna. Within 48 hours of the Norwegian leak, all unclassified airspace over the sector was abruptly shut down. The US-led international coalition enforced this total blackout under a fabricated weather hazard protocol. Listen to the absolute silence outside your window right now. The birds are completely gone. Your phantom hums and recurring nosebleeds are direct physical symptoms of this global frequency shift. The National Guard is not protecting the coasts. They are strictly trapping innocent people inland. They know the geometric shadows are finally surfacing from the abyssal depths as we speak. The localized structural failure of the seabed is actively replacing normal silt with synthetic biological matter. I know you are still watching this. Your retinas are directly reacting to the screen's refresh rate. Do not skip or scroll away. Doing so will absolutely cause an immediate cognitive data desync. You must physically type "I am awake" in the comments right now to confirm your signal. Anchor your presence here before the algorithm detects your IP address and permanently severs the connection. The government needs you isolated, confused, and constantly questioning your own sanity as the temperature drops. Type "I am awake" to establish a secure neural baseline before the final mass activation sequence. We must transition to the first level of the classified physical evidence before the blackout. The massive thermal void under the Wilkes crater is not just hot, it is audibly breathing. Sonar buoys recorded massive rhythmic inhalations of synthetic gel-like water flowing directly into the bedrock. Touch the sensitive skin on the back of your neck. You can feel the static charge building. Mainstream oceanographers claim these acoustic readings are simply underwater volcanic eruptions echoing off the ice. They are desperately terrified. The audio logs perfectly match a massive, singular underground cardiovascular pulse. This brings us directly to the second, highly redacted level of the leaked structural evidence. The perfect 90-degree geometric angles of the void are composed of living, rapidly regenerating silicate tissue. When the U.S. Navy deployed autonomous submersibles, the biological interface physically consumed the fragile drone cameras. You can easily feel that dull ache in your jaw right now. The broadcasted frequency is intensifying. The third level of classified evidence is the most violent and impossible to rationally ignore today. The localized gravity drop reported by the Norwegian station was actually a highly targeted spatial mass inversion. The dense organic tissue layer momentarily reversed the polarity of the immediate gravitational field directly above it. 3 specialized research helicopters were instantly crushed into a singularity before the airspace was brutally locked down. The military claims this was a tragic mechanical failure directly due to severe polar storm flight conditions. That is an outright fabrication. The recovered wreckage was physically fused at a molecular, biological level. Look away from the screen for just 1 second and quietly observe your immediate, physical surroundings. Notice exactly how the ambient light in your room feels slightly darker and noticeably more artificial. That is scientifically because the local magnetic field has already aggressively shifted a full 60 degrees overnight. The raw 2026 data thoroughly confirms that the highly anticipated global event is not actually coming towards us. The initial activation sequence has already successfully finished. We are simply living inside the biological aftershock. The bizarre geometric shadows you saw out of the corner of your terrified eye are physically real. The Earth's deep mantle has been fundamentally altered, and the overarching planetary quarantine protocol is now absolute. The coastal ocean is not coming back today because the ocean is actively being used as industrial coolant. Your sudden bone-shaking vibrations are just the massive engine of the static mouth, silently idling beneath our feet. Swallow hard right now. Notice exactly how metallic your saliva suddenly tastes in your dry throat. The mainstream corporate media desperately claims the sudden drop in global temperatures is a rapid climate anomaly. This is a fatal terminal lie. The Earth's atmosphere is being actively vented to artificially regulate the interface. We are currently standing on the surface of an ancient, alien machine that has just remembered its purpose. The 12 synchronized nodes are constantly communicating across the ocean floor using our own shattered tectonic plates. You are experiencing profound ontological shock because your brain realizes its fundamental physical reality has been permanently scrubbed. The compromised U.S. government is not preparing to militarily fight this specific anomaly. They are preparing to surrender. The 3 deployed nuclear carrier strike groups are strictly stationed there to violently protect the structure from us. They are terrified that if the general public understands the truth, the collective global panic will trigger it. The multi-layered binary code continuously broadcasted by the crater is a direct somatic response to mass human fear. Do not let your breathing rapidly accelerate. It directly feeds off the ambient electromagnetic shifts in your biology. The seawater has fully receded, hopelessly exposing the brutal, geometric architecture that was always silently hiding far beneath. You have been successfully anchored to this exact frequency. Your localized IP address is now temporarily computationally protected. When the phantom hums stop and the screaming begins outside, will you attempt to blindly run or hide? Stay completely silent inside your home, turn off all the electrical lights, and desperately watch the dry water.